What about, because now you do have all this going on social media, like with Tiffany, like with some stuff with Deandra. Is there any part of you that looks back to last season and says, Tiffany can go and I'll take Leanne back?
you know, I think that everything has it's meant to be the way it's meant to be. I don't like, even with me, if I'm not meant to be again next season, then I'm not. I don't have any control, and people that have the control, I leave it up to them. They know what they're doing, and so I don't. Yeah.
Will you miss it if you don't come back?
Of course I'll miss it, but I'll be supportive. And, I'm thankful that I've been able to be in this crazy experience, this crazy ride. It's been amazing sharing my life and being here, I wouldn't change it for the world.
You
So
have you have such a positive attitude about it all.
you're so sweet.
What about, last month, Margaret Josephs and Dolores Catania from New Jersey, from the New Jersey Housewives, they sat down and they did an interview and they said they didn't like how you were treating Deandra on the show. Well, first of all, do you know Margaret and Dolores? Like, have you ever met them?
I've never met them, so they don't know me at all, and that hurts my feelings, because they should know how TV is, and everything else. And I mean, I can imagine commenting about any other housewife shows, so that really was surprising to me.
Do you find it strange when like people from other franchises, within the Bravo world now have an opinion on you and what you're up to?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh wow, I guess I'm important in their lives.
People are watching what you're doing. Do you have a response?
Yeah.
Do you have a response to Margaret and Dolores? Anything you want to say to them?
No, not really. I mean, I just wish they would get to know. If they really want to get to know me, they should get to know me.
Maybe one day you'll meet them.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask about also before we wrap up, and don't shoot the messenger because I don't say this, but a lot of the chatter online, how people notice every little thing. So there is this whole thing online of like, where is Eduardo? Is Kary still married? Where is he? Where is he? We don't see your husband this season.
I just keep him secret in the closet. I just bring him out when I want to play.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that, and yeah, he didn't film much this season. He was really busy with his business. Obviously, it was tough with his business this year. With everybody's business, so he was just really focusing and on calls all the time. And he filmed a little bit, but it's funny because his scenes haven't appeared this season much.
It didn't even register necessarily with me until I read all this stuff online and I'm like, oh, okay. Who do you think, if you could replace someone, if someone said that you are in charge and everyone could come back next season except one person, who would you pick not to come back?
Whew. I mean, I don't know. Everybody brings something interesting to the group, so that's a tough one. That's a tough one to say.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you from thing?
Well, I think definitely this season that I'm a bully, for sure. That really, like I said, really hurt my feelings. So that's the main one. I'm not a mean person. I mean, I think most people that know me and see me out, they will say, "Oh my gosh, Kary's so much fun," and I'm a very loyal friend, and kind of like always the one that's listening and fixing everybody's problems, bringing people together. And I think I come across as I'm coming across this year, as being very confrontational and going after, like mean, and I don't like that, so I'm definitely have to take a close look at how I'm handling situations.
What about when people take that a step further and say things like, well, that's what you felt from Leanne, and so now you're doing it, which I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like they're making that analogy of like,
I
why
mean,
are you acting this?
I think that what happened between me and Leanne and what's going on this season is very different, you know? I mean, can you imagine anybody calling Tiffany the things Leanne called me? I mean, she's already been sensitive about some things, you know, and stuff like that. And just the fact that, you know, Cameron didn't want to eat a chicken food, she's kind of like, oh, you're offending my culture. Now imagine how Leanne, you know, called me a chirpy Mexican and Mexican strong and all of this. So, I mean, that was just a totally different level. So I think what happened between me and Leanne is completely different. That, you know, how I'm reacting to. I mean, me and Deandra have issues. Deandra's a very strong person. She's very combative as well. So we both, you know, we're both like very equal on that, you know, on that respect. So it's like, you know, Leanne and the way she was calling me and treating me behind my back was a complete different situation.